As you guys know, I'm the biggest Borderlands fan on earth.
Hit me with that!
So this rant about Borderlands Pre-Sequel, what I liked and didn't like about it is actually from my E3 impressions video. It's just way long and this rant's gonna be really long. So going into E3 and Pre-Sequel, it was my #1 most anticipated game to play. I was so pumped to see this game. So a little backstory on what's going on. The Pre-Sequel takes place in between Borderlands 1 and 2. And this time, you remember in Borderlands 2, Handsome Jack kept saying, hey you guys, I'm the hero of this story. I'm the good guy.
This is Handsome Jack, your hero.
And he was actually a really bad guy. I loved Handsome Jack. He was one of my all-time favorite villains. So in Pre-Sequel, we actually find out he is the good guy, and we have been working with him throughout some of the story, and that's where all of Pre-Sequel is going to take place. And it's going to take place on the moon.
In the Pre-Sequel, Jack is in charge of Helios. He's not the Hyperion CEO yet that you know from Borderlands 2. Right now he's just managing the station, and you've been kicked off it and you got to get back.
Which sounds awesome, right? Yes, until I actually played it and found out that throughout the whole game there's going to be an oxygen meter that's going to be draining automatically, constantly, and I'm always going to have to be finding a oxygen refill station. That instantly just makes my anticipation and excitement for this game plummet. I don't mind that type of stuff in a controlled environment or a linear game like Dead Space. Works. That's fine. You know, in an open world game that encourages exploring your environment and finding side missions and finding hidden loot chests and all that kind of stuff, you don't want to put something that keeps players from wanting to do that. I found myself constantly, like I was hypersensitive to that oxygen meter, and it did actually drain way faster than I thought it should be, to the point where I found myself not paying attention to the art or the environment, not even paying attention to the mission. I would get an update on the mission, a little face would pop up at the bottom and it would be like, you know, oh my god, this is going on and this is part of the story and you should be listening to what I'm saying. But I couldn't, because I was concentrating on how long this conversation was going on and how much my oxygen was draining. It puts a huge damper on the whole gameplay experience. I was finding myself running through enemies to try to get to the closest oxygen station. I was finding myself just not really paying attention to what was going on and the overall just environment of the game because of that oxygen refill station. I wasn't enjoying killing enemies because they were taking too much time. I wasn't enjoying exploring because it was taking too much time. And there was oxygen refill stations kind of everywhere, but they weren't as close as I think they should be. And in this game there is very low gravity, so you can kind of do like a crackdown jump where you jump and you kind of float. So a lot of the levels are multi-leveled, where you are going to be using these things that glow in the ground that kind of will help you shoot you up a little bit more, give you some more air time, or some, you know, acceleration pads. You run across them, they shoot you across. You know, those are very kind of standard. So everything's kind of layered. There's more dimension to the levels, and you're going to be having to use those to get to places and jump up. And the particular mission I was on, I had to get to the kind of scale this building and get to the very top of it, and have to use the kind of the little shooty things and the launcher things to strategically get up to the top of this building to do my mission. I'd get to maybe 3/4 of the way up, and my oxygen meter would be blinking. There's no oxygen meters on the buildings near where I was, they're all on the ground. So I'd have to jump back down, go get oxygen, and then try to scale the building again, and it was extremely frustrating because I was just trying to get up there as fast as I could. I didn't want to stop for any enemies, anything. Just so I could get to that mission really quickly before my oxygen drained again. It took away from everything that I love about Borderlands. The personality, the art, the enemies. I love the enemy styles, their fight style, the crazy sounds the psychos make. All of that stuff was just completely, I was oblivious to all of it because I was so hyper-focused on that oxygen level. I just don't understand why. Gearbox, they're so brilliant at making a great open world game, and everything about Borderlands I feel in the past have been just perfection, and why they think this is a good idea. It's a terrible idea. Get rid of it. Just get rid of it. I'm already paying attention to shield, I'm already paying attention to health and ammo and I want to pay attention to the world. The oxygen consumption stuff is just a killer for me. But then not even to bring up the fact that it is going into a story that we already know a lot about. We already know so much about this story from playing 1 and 2. There's so many different vaults out there that we could explore and try to get to, and different things that could happen, us trying to get to all of these different vaults. Yet you put me back into the story I've already played. And the fact that this isn't even for next-gen consoles. I don't know. I really don't know, guys. But that is only off of, what, 20 or 30 minutes I got to play of it. So maybe just that one level portrayed the oxygen level stuff poorly. I don't know. It's still in my top most excited games for this year, but now I have a little apprehension with my excitement for it, because I feel I might be let down, and I don't want to be let down by Borderlands. I love you, Borderlands. I love you, Gearbox. Don't break my heart.